Hello, this is Monica Reinagel, and you're listening to the Nutrition Diva podcast. Welcome. A few weeks ago, in episode number 398, I talked about the advantages of spreading your protein intake out more evenly throughout the day. And for most of us, that translates into eating a bit less protein at dinner and bumping up your protein at breakfast. This week, just to take that a step further, I've reached into the archive to bring you a show I did last year on other ways to improve the nutritional quality of your breakfast. And then at the end of the podcast, I've also included some new tips on using protein powder to increase the protein content at breakfast, as well as at other meals and snacks throughout the day. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Today's episode is brought to you by Madison Reed, salon quality hair color with an authentic personal touch. Madison Reed combines the savings and the convenience of coloring your hair at home with the quality and the results you'd expect from a high-end salon. Madison Reed's expert colorists will guide you every step of the way so you can color with total confidence. Madison Reed is the first ever permanent hair color that's free of ammonia, parabens, resorcinol, PPD, phthalates, and gluten. Your satisfaction and your happiness is guaranteed. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com. Plus, get 10% off and free shipping on your first color kit by using the code DIVA. And now, on to today's show. Are you in a breakfast rut? Same old, day in and day out. Is your breakfast doing all it can for you nutritionally? This week, I have 9 ways to wake up your breakfast routine and make it the healthiest meal of the day. Tip number 1 is to make it bigger. Choosing a 90-calorie breakfast bar or a 100-calorie yogurt cup might seem like a calorie-conscious choice, but an ultra-low-calorie breakfast is going to backfire if you're already hungry again by the time you get to work. A more substantial breakfast of 300 to 500 well-chosen calories is going to get you a lot further, and it'll probably cut down on unplanned mid-morning snacking. Tip number 2 is to increase the protein to carb ratio. Cereal, fruit, whole grain toast, these can be part of your breakfast if you want, but they shouldn't be all of it. Adding some protein will help keep you full, it'll boost your metabolism a little bit, and it'll help you hold on to that hard-won lean muscle tissue. So spread your toast with peanut butter in addition to jelly, or top a half a bagel with some salmon. Add a scoop of protein powder or tofu to your smoothie. Switch from regular to Greek yogurt. It's got almost twice as much protein. Or here's a new trick I just learned. You can cook an egg into your oatmeal, and I have a link in the show notes to a recipe. Tip number 3, lose the sugar. American breakfast staples like sweetened cereals, fruit-flavored yogurts, and milkshake-like coffee drinks contain so much added sugar, you can exceed the recommended daily maximum for added sugars before your eyes are even fully open. Starting your day with a big dose of sugar is a great way to sabotage your appetite and your energy for the rest of the day. If you eat cereal, look for ones with a minimum of added sugar. Select plain yogurt, and then add some sliced fruit for a nutrient-dense touch of sweetness. Tip number 4, include some vegetables. One of the reasons that many people struggle to get 5 servings of vegetables a day is that they don't start until dinner time. Why not start with breakfast? Enjoy a veggie omelet or frittata. Pile some salsa onto your scrambled eggs or a few slices of tomato onto your bagel. Have vegetable juice instead of orange juice, or add a big handful of spinach to your smoothie. Tip number 5, add some healthy fats. Healthy fats, like those found in avocado, can actually help boost the absorption of nutrients from those vegetables I was just talking about. Plus, they're delicious. Throw some avocado into your green smoothie or add a couple of slices to your salmon and tomato bagel. You could also sprinkle some walnuts or toasted flax seeds onto your oatmeal. I have 4 more tips for you on how to optimize your breakfast, but first, a thanks to our other sponsor today, Nordic Naturals. Nordic Naturals is known for making the freshest and purest omega-3 fish oils. More than 27,000 studies have been completed on omega-3s, making them one of the most researched nutrients in the world. Researched benefits of omega-3s include support for the health of the heart, joints, brain, eyes, nervous system, mood, and immunity. You've heard me talk about them a lot in previous podcasts. Nordic's award-winning omega-3 formulations are not only proven pure and effective, they also taste great. And they apply that same commitment to quality, purity, and efficacy to all of the other nutritional supplements that they make as well. Check them out at nordicnaturals.com, and you can use the promo code DIVA and get 15% off your order. Tip number 6, chew your food. Mom was right about this one. Chewing food more thoroughly increases your absorption of nutrients, and it aids in digestion. And for more on that, see my episode, How Chewing Affects Nutrition. Tip number 7, put a buzz on. A caffeine buzz, that is. A caffeinated beverage will increase alertness and help you swing into your workday with more focus and concentration. People who regularly enjoy coffee or tea also enjoy lower risks of many diseases. I've talked about that in the past. And what's more, coffee and tea help keep you hydrated. You can even count them towards your 8 glasses a day. And if you think I've lost my mind, please see my episode, How Much Water Should I Drink? Tip number 8, make it the night before. One of the biggest reasons people skip or skimp on breakfast is that they simply run out of time in the morning. I get that. Making breakfast the night before solves the problem. Stir uncooked rolled oats into Greek yogurt along with some fresh or frozen fruit and just put it in the fridge to soften overnight. In fact, if you have a copy of my book, Secrets for a Healthy Diet, look for my recipe for a make-ahead oatmeal yogurt parfait on page 199. And if you don't yet have a copy of my book, what are you waiting for? You could also use your slow cooker to make steel-cut oats while you sleep. Also, think about expanding your notion of what quote-unquote breakfast food is. You'd be surprised how good reheated leftovers work as a morning meal. And finally, tip number 9, it's okay to take it with you. If you don't have time to eat before you leave, take some or all of your breakfast with you to eat later. Contrary to popular myth, delaying your breakfast isn't going to slow down your metabolism for the day. In fact, delaying breakfast effectively shortens your eating window, which, as I discussed in a recent episode, may help with weight control. The key here is making sure that that delayed breakfast is still a healthy one. No fair skipping breakfast and then throwing yourself on the muffin tray at the 10 a.m. staff meeting. Michelle wrote in with a great question about adding protein powder to her morning cup of coffee. She wondered whether the heat from the coffee might harm the protein, or whether she needed to consume it within a certain period of time in order to get the maximum value from the protein. You can add a protein powder, such as whey protein, to a cup of hot coffee or any other hot food or liquid, such as soup or oatmeal. While the heat won't damage the protein powder in terms of its value to you, it can cause the powder to clump up or curdle a little bit. Letting hot liquids cool just a bit before adding protein powder can help prevent this. Now for coffee, I suggest mixing your protein powder with a small amount of room temperature water and whisking it up with a whisk or even just a fork until it's nice and smooth, and then adding it to your coffee. Another technique is to use a blender or a stick blender to blend protein powder into your coffee, and this creates more of a frothy, latte-type beverage. Either way, however, you don't have to consume it within a certain period of time in order to get the nutritional value of the protein. I've been experimenting with ways to incorporate protein powder into lots of other foods and ingredients and meals, and I've discovered that there's so much more you can do with protein powder than just add it to your smoothie. I've successfully added it to salad dressings and beverages, sandwiches, pasta dishes, cereal, and even some of my favorite desserts. I've collected a dozen or so of the best ideas, along with recipes, on my blog at nutritionovereasy.com, so check that out as well. Thanks so much for listening this week. Have a great week, and remember to eat something good for me.